Okay. Where's my Zoom now? Cool. On, set up. You can see me. Let's begin in a child's pose. Big toes together, the knees are apart. Walk your hands forward and away from you, softening down. Bring your awareness to the present moment, to the breath. Arrive. Allow yourself to be here now in every sensation, completely present. Walk your hands in and let's thread the needle. Right arm underneath the left. You can use your left hand as a pillow. Right arm is palm up. And press into the left hand, lift up, switch sides. Walk the right hand forward, left arm underneath, opening up into the shoulders. Actively bringing your awareness to the present moment by feeling the temperature of the air around you, feeling your feet, your legs on the mat, not just the shoulders. And release, press up to a tabletop. Knees are hip width, hands are shoulder width for 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back, look straight ahead. Exhale, round, press everything away. 2 more, let these build. Inhale, open up. Long exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. Long exhale, round. Neutral spine. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Press up, press back, downward facing dog. Feet are about hip width, hands shoulder width. Let's pedal it out, bending one knee at a time as you press the opposite heel down. Roll out one wrist at a time and stretch the entire back body. Soft bend in the knees, walk to the top of your mat and relax over soft legs. Take any movement you need a little bit at a time. And I hear my neighbors about to turn on a loud machine. 1 second. Just hang in a forward fold. Stand evenly between both feet. Bring your palms to touch at heart center. And commit to being here in the present moment with your breath. Inhale, reach the arms wide and overhead. Hands about shoulder width. Inhale, look up, reach up. Long exhale, forward fold. Place your hands on the mat and step the right foot back. Lunge. Tall on the toes of the back foot. Left knee over the ankle. On an inhale, lower the right knee, shoulders draw back. Long exhale, try to press both legs straight, no rush. Lunge, leave the back knee lifted, lunge twist, right hand down, left arm opens. Fingers spread wide, reach. Left hand down. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Keep the legs soft until we are a little more balanced. Press to stand. Arms overhead. Lift up, reach up. And swan dive forward. Left foot back, lunge. Even though you might know what's next, give each step, each pose its attention. Strong back leg, stretching out the foot. And inhale, lower the left knee, shoulders draw back. Long exhale, try to press both legs straight. Lunge, lunge twist, left hand down, right arm opens. Right hand back down, step to the top of your mat, longer exhale. Press to stand. Arms overhead, back bend or any arms up variation, 3 breaths through the nose. Lift out, forward fold. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Left foot back to plank. Hold here. Press the mat away. Flex the toes against the mat. Puff up a little bit through the shoulders. Lower all the way down to the mat. Rest your forehead on the left hand. Bring the right foot in for a quad stretch, pressing the hips forward and down. Switch sides. Release. Extend your left arm out, palm down, shoulder height, and roll onto the left hip, opening up the left chest and shoulder. And switch, roll onto the right side, right arm out. Might adjust your back a little bit while you're here. Try to make sure the palm is actually down and not too far on one edge, like the thumb edge probably. Come back to center. 1 Cobra, tops of the feet are down, elbows in close. Slowly lift up halfway using the middle upper back and lower down. Press up to a tabletop, downward facing dog. Pedal it out if you need to, or start to find some stillness. Feeling the entire back body stretching. Step the right foot up between your hands for a lunge. Strong back leg. Calm mind and breath. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Long exhale. Press to stand. Arms overhead. Back bend. 3 breaths. Lift out. Forward fold. Left foot back to a lunge. Start to engage the core more as the hips start to open up. Right foot back to a plank. Vinyasa back to downward facing dog. So that's 1 or 2 chaturanga push-ups. Inhale, upward facing dog. Long exhale back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps between the hands. Lunge. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Pada Hastasana from the front. Separate your feet about hips width or 2 fists. Slide your palms up underneath your feet, toes to wrist creases. Bend your legs. Try to let the chest get to the thighs. Relax the head and the neck. Start to press up underneath your feet using arm strength. Shoulders shift away from the ears. Start to lift the tailbone up and toward the top of the mat. Release. Step off of your hands, bring the feet to touch, and exhale over the legs. Press to stand. Arms overhead, back bend. 3 breaths in and out through the nose. Lift out and forward fold. Step the right foot back to a lunge, setting up for Crescent Lunge. Tall on the toes of the back foot, set up your foundation. Press to lift up. Hands to hips will get your shoulders over your hips, arms above your head, palms face each other. Tall on the toes of the back foot, you're not pressing through the heel. Try not to arch the chest forward. Hands float down to frame the left foot. Step onto the left leg, lifting the right leg just hip height, 90 degrees. Feel the hamstrings engage. Forward fold over both legs at the top of your mat. Round up to standing. Arms overhead, back bend. Lift out, forward fold. Left foot back. Crescent lunge. Set up your foundation. Press through both feet to stand up. And then lift the arms. Feel strong with your legs pressed down without getting any taller. Hands to the mat, framing the right foot. And you'll walk your hands forward about a foot or so as you step onto the right leg, lifting the left. Try to level out the hips, meaning not stacking the right open too much, or the left. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Long exhale. Press to stand. Arms overhead. Back bend. Lift out, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long flat back. And from this look up position, hands down, step it back. Plank pose. Side plank, right hand down, left arm up. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Plank. Left hand down, right arm up. Lift a little bit more. Plank pose. Vinyasa, back to downward dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Bring your forearms down to the mat. Make sure they are about forearm distance apart. Press down underneath your wrists, your hands, your elbows. Tuck your toes and lift into Dolphin. Walk your feet in a little bit. Press down more and again through the hands, the wrists, the elbows. Think about the triceps opening. Lower your knees to the mat. Untuck the toes, tabletop. Retuck the toes, downward facing dog. Balance on the left leg, pick up the right. Keep the hips square, the knee facing the mat, foot is flexed. Press into the hands, bringing the chest closer to the thigh again. Downward dog. Upward facing dog, ripple through. Leave the toes tucked, lift the chin at the end. And back to downward dog. Tabletop. Forearms to the mat, measure the distance, press down through all the parts that are touching the mat of the hands, the elbows, the wrists, the forearms. Tuck the toes. Dolphin. Walk your feet in just a little bit and continue to press down under your forearms. Try to open up the triceps, pressing the mat away from you. Tabletop. Untuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Balance on the right leg. Lift the left, hips square, foot flexed. Press the mat away. Squeeze the left glute, lifting the leg a little bit more. Downward dog. Lift onto the toes, ripple through, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Dolphin. Set up your hands, tuck the toes, press up and back, walk your feet in just a little bit. You're looking kind of down at the mat, right in between like the middle of your forearms or wherever is comfortable. We're just building some upper body strength. Press to an up or press to downward facing dog. Ooh. Lower your knees to the mat. Sit to one side. Bring your legs out and around in front of you. Reverse tabletop. Hands are behind you, feet hip width. Press and lift. Sit down. Extend your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms overhead. And forward fold over both legs. Soles of the feet face away from you. Smooth out the breath. Lift up. Reverse plank, hands behind you. Press the feet flat. Lift your body up. Sit back down. Soles of the feet come together. The knees are apart. Let's find a little bit of movement. Hold on to the outsides of your feet, and we're going to come forward with a flat back. And when you're near the end, round, lean back. And then tilt your hips forward and up to rebuild your spine. Go in a few circles at your own pace. Just feeling out how you can articulate through the spine. And then let's go the other way. So you'll lean back almost all the way onto the tailbone, forward with a round back. Pull the chest through and sit up. Taking the time to slow down, clearing out all of the fascia, which is basically like sawdust all over everything that you need to wipe off every day. And when you don't, it builds up, and that's when your muscles and bodies get stiff. All right, extend your legs out in front of you. Sit up, reach up. Another forward fold. Sit up. Cross your feet at the ankles. Make your way to a tabletop. One cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round. Neutral. Puppy pose. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. Leave your hips over the knees. Don't bring them with you. And lower the forehead down, stretching underneath the armpits, the triceps, the upper back. Use the breath to really smooth out the torso and the shoulders. Sphinx pose. Shift your weight forward and down. Prop up under your forearms. Elbow or forearm distance apart. Press underneath the elbows, the wrists, the hands, shoulders away from the ears as you draw the chest through. Press the hands down again. Release. Cactus the left arm, palm down. We're going to roll onto the left hip. This is more intense than with the arms straight, so if you need to use that arm, do that. And switch. And, ooh, that one hurt. Come back to your stomach. Locust. Arms are out, airplane wings, tops of the feet are on the mat about hip width or closer. Exhale almost all the air out. And inhale, lift arms and legs off of the mat. Draw the shoulder blades together. Try to mimic the stretch you just felt rolling onto each hip. And release. Press up to tabletop. And back to downward facing dog. Balance on the left foot, lift the right leg. Let the hip open. Press through the hands to bring the chest closer to the leg. Pigeon right side. Bring the right leg up behind, the right knee behind the right wrist. The foot is across. And we haven't gotten too much into the hips yet, so just keep that in mind as you soften forward and fold over the leg. Let yourself feel heavy and just scan the body. You obviously feel this in the right glute, the right hip, but how does the top of your back foot feel? Or think, just scan your body everywhere, feeling where there might be tension. And then bring your thoughts back to the breath. Let's start to lift up, sit up. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the mat. Make your way to your forearms. Dolphin. Press down, obviously through the elbows, but think about the wrists, the palms. How can you help to feel more grounded? Maybe walking your feet in a little bit more. Try to open up the triceps as much as you can. Lower your knees back to the mat. Tabletop, downward facing dog. Balance on the right leg, lift the left. Back and up, press into the palm, squeeze the left glute. Try to level the shoulders out by lowering the left one just a little bit. Pigeon left side, left knee behind the left wrist. Try to square your hips to the top of the mat. Shoulders away from the ears. Soften forward over the left leg. Give yourself time to breathe, to feel the present moment. Smooth out tension for a few more breaths. And start to sit up, releasing out, back to downward dog. Lower your knees to the mat, sit to one side, bring your feet out and around in front of you, and lie back on your back. Feel the shoulders, the upper back on the floor, kind of melting. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees are apart. Recline butterfly pose. Take your arms wide. So I like to bring them up overhead and then open out, nice and wide. The elbows can soften. Feel this deep stretch across the entire chest. Notice the rise and the fall of your breath. Bring your arms a little bit higher and try to be heavy. Bring your palms to touch overhead. Interlace the fingers, index fingers out. Try to open up the shoulders. Just feel what you feel. Bring the arms down and around to bring the knees back together. Hug both knees into the chest. Lift your legs up. Hands behind your head. 10 crunches. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your head back down and then slowly lower your legs back to the mat. And release. Full body stretch, arms overhead. And sit up. Fold forward over your legs. Sit up tall, reverse tabletop. Feet are flat, hands behind you. Press to lift. Sit back down. Turn to face the long edge of your mat. Left foot in, right foot out. Sit up tall. Left arm up and over, side body reach. You might feel this extra in the legs because we've done more upper body. Just awareness. Baby, wild thing, lean on the left hand, left knee, right foot. Open up the front body and lean back. Sit down. Switch out the legs. Right foot in, left leg out. Sit up tall. Right arm up and over. Try not to lean forward. Keep this in the side body. And for a little extra, you'll press down and away with the left hand. Sit up. Baby wild thing. Right side, right hand, right knee, left foot. Balance. Press and open up. Sit back down. Bring yourself back to a tabletop position. 3 cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round. Inhale, open up, breathe in. Press the feet down. Long exhale, round, press the feet and the hands down, scoop the tailbone. Once more, open up, really press, arch. Exhale, round. Neutral spine. Stand up on your knees for Camel Pose. Feet or legs are about hip width distance. Tops of the feet are down unless your heels are too far away. Then you'll tuck the toes or use blocks. Let's place the hands on the lower back, start to lift the gaze. And then one hand at a time, reach back for your heels. Hips will go forward a little bit. Let the whole front body open up. Press the feet down. Breathe. Release one hand at a time. Sit up and just sit down on your knees with a straight spine. Let's do that again. Lift up. Start by lifting the gaze and find your camel pose. Opening up. Let the shoulders feel heavy. The chest is open. Breathe. Lift up. Sit down. Just sit still. Once more. Lift up onto your knees. Lift your heart. Just a few breaths. Press down with the feet. Lift up. Sit down. Sit up tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Sit to one side. Bring your legs out and around in front of you. Lie back. Hug the right knee in and twist. Right arm reaches out and away, palm down. Try to keep the shoulder down. The leg is heavier, and over time, that will make the twist happen more in the torso. Come back to center and switch sides. Hug the left knee in. And twist. Last few moments of active, conscious breathing. Give yourself this time to focus just on that. Back, release, full body stretch. Hug the knees into the chest. Squeeze, bring the nose to the knees. Shavasana. Extend your legs out, untuck the shoulders, palms are face up. I will end our practice. You are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. For now, let go of the breath. Let the eyes close. Soften the temples. And I will be in touch. Keep the body still, the eyes closed. Introduce a deep breath. Really fill up. Breathe in extra at the top. Pause, hold. Long exhale. Somewhere near the end of the breath, begin to blink the eyes open. See if you can feel the light enter the eyes. And gently reanimate and make your way to a comfortable seated position, sitting up tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take any little movements that you need. And then bring your hands to touch at heart center. Gratitude for your practice. I am so grateful for your presence. Let's close with a breath. Inhale, arms reach wide, up, overhead. Inhale, lift up, look up. Long exhale, lower your hands down. Thank yourself for your practice. Thank all the minds that came together and created this feel-good practice for us. And until next time, namaste. Namaste. Ooh. All right.